Okay, everyone, and we are back. Welcome back for this unplanned and unexpected fourth race that we have for you. Cypherin again doing the back-to-back doubleheader. You have to value the endurance here on this one. Looking to learn from his mistakes potentially, going up against LordFancyPus once again. And this should be a good one overall. We'll see how things work out with this one. But I'll be your commentator for here. We may eventually have someone else step in with me here in the meantime, but for what it's worth, this should be a really good race. LordFancyPus obviously looking to redeem himself from some of the things that happened in his race as well. Both of them looking to pick up a W this evening, so they'll be hungry for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and get them counted in here, so I'll be silent for a little bit and make sure they're all set and ready to go, and we'll get this race underway. So sit tight, folks. We'll get started here momentarily. Okay, and they have been counted in. We should be seeing them go off and running here momentarily. And LordFancyPus is away on his side. We'll see if Cypherin gets his timer started this time around. And we'll get the racers synced up here momentarily. And we have a timer. Fantastic. All right, guys, welcome back to the fourth and potentially final race of the night here on Castlevania Speedruns. Again, this is the pre-tournament, the pre-2021 80% tournament for Super Castlevania IV. Exhibition showcase races that we had tonight. A special thank you to everyone that was involved with this here and people helping behind the scenes. Big shouts to Mannix doing his work. Overall, it's been a great night and a lot of great action here on this channel. So definitely, if you haven't done so already, make sure to follow this. And you got 2 solid months of Castlevania IV action here for the tournament where things will actually count. It's going to be double elimination. Some of the best players out there, but a full range of skill. Going from those that are brand new to the game, some old names. JC himself will be hopping in. We saw Kenshin putting up a heck of a time this evening. Lots of really good stuff. But we'll go ahead and get back into it here. It looks like that they're following very similar patterns going into stage one. LordFancyPus playing very clean, getting his 2-shot multiplier where you'd expect it to be. And Cypherin hot on his tail this time around. A lot to prove. Can he get a better time than he had last time? Again, he got sub 45. Both of these runners did. It'll be very interesting to see what actually happens. LordFancyPus was first one to make it to the stables, but Cypherin not too far behind. I think it's going to come down to basically how Rodane treats both of these players moving in, and Cypherin going to be possibly a little bit hesitant after his run last time and taking an unexpected early death to those rotating platforms where the Medusa heads are at. LordFancyPus coming up to the top section of the stables. Ooh, I'm trying to go for the Medusa boost. We're getting pushed back. Cypherin getting it, though, on his side. Quite nice. Actually making up some gap at that time. Getting both of them. Look at him go. Those are a lot more difficult than what they look like, I guarantee you. LordFancyPus taking the Viper Swarm boost there at the end, and here he comes into Rodane. Fairly clean setup. And a textbook Rodane by LordFancyPus, but Cypherin not outdone. Possibly a bit quicker, but getting pushed back by Rodane with his sword. And we're going to be pretty close. And that's a nice slice of pizza by LordFancyPus, trying to throw out some Triforce swag. That looks like it's possibly a isosceles or scalene triangle. I don't know. Bust out the geometry terminology on that one. Getting grabbed by the ghoulies on LordFancyPus' side as we're walking through the graveyard. Getting grabbed twice and getting pushed back by the spider here at this point. Looks like Cypherin has caught himself up in the process. But also getting grabbed himself. The back and forth and getting pushed back. My goodness gracious. That's a rough beginning for stage 2 for both of these runners. They both got to be feeling that one. LordFancyPus taking the top high cross to take care of that the top armadillo, which is kind of a fun one to do. Cypherin doing a jump whip to get the first hit. Only has to worry about one on the way through. And it looks like FancyPus comes out on top on this one. Moving on to 2-2, and Cypherin only a few seconds behind, just a handful at this point. We'll see how things go, make or break. I'm sure the D-boosts here coming into the river will be the biggest thing, but we'll see how they do. Overall, again, both of these runners here have taken losses this evening, so both have something to prove. They've definitely had a chance to kind of review and regather themselves. Cypherin already had a much better stage 1 than last time. He's got to be feeling good about that, conquering those demons one stage at a time. And this is going to be the comeback story, possibly taking some unintentional damage there. Has some pretty low health. It can be going into the Medusa, whereas LordFancyPus looking a little less worse for wear as he takes the bridge up top. Again, Cypherin not too far behind, but maybe a little more careful and cautious going into Medusa and into the river. And very well done. It looks like FancyPus did get a chance to empty all of his hearts here, so he just walks right through. And also Cypherin does a good job there with Medusa. Not a lot of health, though, going into the river, so he's going to be a little more conservative with the health, especially on this first screen before going into the second one. FancyPus has some work he can do, so he will likely come out on top here with the better time with the D-boosts, barring anything unforeseen, kind of jumping very close to those spikes in the process. I anticipate a very large swing, though, in Stage 3. I'm curious to see how both of these runners actually tackle it at this point. FancyPus getting all of the boost that he needs in the second screen there, getting the good boost from the second gargoyle coming down. Cypherin not too far behind, getting boost number 1, and boost number 2, but getting back boosted there slightly. Unfortunate to see, so a slight time loss there for Cypherin versus FancyPus, both coming into Stage 3. Still anybody's race, folks. FancyPus doing a great job avoiding those mudmen amidst a bit of a strange pattern there toward the end. Cypherin also doing a great job. Again, those are much harder than they look, folks. FancyPus taking the top route to go down low there. Cypherin throwing his crosses outside to get the bone pillars. FancyPus with still a lot of health. Cypherin opting for the jump strat rather than just walking forward. Speaking about walking forward, both these mudmen are, and Cypherin has all of the health in the world to work with at this point. FancyPus having to take that stalactite boost to get past the Mudman. Again, that only does 3 damage, I believe, versus the 4 that the full-grown Mudman does. See what Cypherin gets for his pattern. Walking away. Jumps down, has to take the hit, but you can actually use your iframes to get through the bone pillar. Coming into the waterfall climb of 3-2. We'll see who can get themselves a nice ring glitch here. FancyPus setting himself up for it. Does not get it entirely on the first try. Second, third, he's slightly off just a little bit. That's going to open the door here for Cypherin, and he finally gets it there on the 5th try. Let's see how Cypherin does and see if he makes some time up. Ooh, just a slight bit off. Second try, third try, 4th try. Okay, so even though that was 4th try, that he did actually save a little bit of time on FancyPus there, 4th versus 5th. The ring glitch is very difficult, and basically it may look like they're whipping downward, but what's actually happening is you're whipping horizontally and then dragging your whip downward to actually connect to the top of the ring. And it's very specific with how you have to have it, but if you can get it in there like that, it works out pretty decently. LordFancyPus going for the eye boost from what I'm seeing here. Fortunately, things froze there on my side, so I couldn't see what happened. Cypherin getting himself set up and gets the eye boost as well. So from what it looks like based on the pacing, it looks like FancyPus also got it in the process. So it's still keeping things nice and close. Cypherin doing a much better job this time around. FancyPus feeling pretty good about what he's got. Their health about equal going into this one here, but now this is where things can make or break. They both made it into this area where they've passed the checkpoint. If they die here, they will lose the cross and lose a mess of time, which they'll hold into until Stage 5. LordFancyPus on his side, getting the damage boost, getting the ring glitch on the first try, but not getting the stairs. Oh no, that's massive. I didn't mean to give the curse of the commentator. Cypherin, however, having difficulty with the D boost here, having to whip down that bone dragon. Not a lot of health. Gonna have a lot of lag here from this bone dragon being up here as well. LordFancyPus taking an uncharacteristic death there. You can definitely feel that he's feeling pretty flustered about it. Cypherin taking this thing as